Yep, we're doing this. Like, actually serious. I'm actually serious. This is a hand.
No shit, Sherlock.
You've seen it, you have it, you probably jerked off with it. But the real question is, how do you draw it? Well, today, after years of cock-blocking this information, I will finally put this endless bickering to rest and teach you my knowledge. I'm your host, Mystic, and today, I will be teaching you how to draw hands. Hold on. Gotta say this real quick. Before I start, I want to make this clear that this video will explain how I, as an artist, draw hands. I'll explain a bit here and there, but if you want a full in-depth tutorial on this subject matter, I highly recommend watching Mark Brunet's video on how to draw hands. His advice is very clear and entertaining, and his insight is the reason why I'm able to draw hands the way I do now. So if there's anyone you should listen to this guy. But, you should still watch this video because I'm in it, and I'm very funny. Yeah, right? Okay, that's enough. Just like what any artist would tell you, in order to draw anything complex, you gotta break it down in shades. The hand at its most basic form can be broken down into 3 sections. The palm, the thumb, and the phalanges. Or the fingies, if you want to call it fingies. It's like the weirdest name I've ever seen in my life. Fingies? The fingers and the thumb shapes will vary depending on the pose you're trying to go for, but the palm will generally stay the same for the most part. Start drawing a square for your palm and add a little triangle on the side. This part is where the thumb will be. For better results, I would recommend rounding up the corners. This is just to make it slightly organic. Speaking about the thumb, we can actually make the thumb right now. I usually draw 2 boxes for it, simply because the thumb is made out of 2 joints. Then after that, I map out the fingers. In order to draw the fingers accurately, you will need to draw the longest one first, and then map out the rest from there. The longest finger for most people in the world is the middle finger. At best, it is roughly the same length as your palm. Now, of course, not everyone is like this is just a rough generalization. Once mapped out, you can cut up the entire thing into 4 sections. Lower the opacity or lightly erase the page if you are a traditional artist, you inferior scum. Then draw the fingers. It's a common mistake for beginners to round out the tips, but that's really not the case. They're more like rectangles than anything else. So when drawing the fingers, just imagine them as floppy french fries. Once you got the general shape down, just erase the guidelines and fill in the detail. For the back of the palm, I just draw the knuckles and subtly draw the tendons, then I finish it off with the nails. For the palm side, I just draw the hand lines and the 3 lines that represent each joint. Boom! Just like Ymir giving birth to deformed baby. What is this script? Just like Ymir giving birth to deformed baby hands, you now are given birth to an actual hand. Take pride in what you've drawn and try drawing this hand a couple of times. Now we're gonna draw these hands in different ways, that being the side and close positions. These are pretty simple to do, so I'm just gonna slightly speed it up a bit. If you can't keep up, survival of the fittest, I guess. Draw a rectangle and a triangle on the side. Create a ceiling that's palm distance away. Draw the fingers. From this angle, each finger will overlap each other. Depending on which side your hand is facing will determine which finger you will see. On the front side, you will see more of your index and middle finger, but the back side shows pinky, ring, and middle finger. Additionally, fingers on this side are much flatter on the top than on the bottom. This is due to the fact that the top part is where the nail will be, and the tips have more padding. Draw the thumb, just like how we drew it last time. 2 boxes, the second boxes being more rounded. Then draw in the details. And there we go. We now have a hand that's drawn in the side profile. But before I move on to the fist, I want to apologize for wasting your time here. Because, do you see what the problem is for these hands? That's right. These straight-fingered poses don't exactly look natural, because hands don't usually look like some Super Sentai pose all the time. Instead, our fingers naturally curl up. So let's quickly redraw these. Quickly redraw the rectangle and the thumb. Recreate the finger ceiling, but this time make an arc in the direction you want your fingers turning. Remember I mentioned joints in our fingers? Just like the thumb, our fingers also have joints as well. 3 in fact. They're more like 3 rectangles connected to each other via hinges. So when drawing the fingers curled up, make sure you are aware of these 3 rectangles. Oh, and by the way, you don't need to exactly measure out each rectangle to make it proportional to the hand. Just be aware that the fingertips, or the distal phalanges, are the shortest, and the 3rd rectangles, proximal phalanges, are the longest. And there you go. We now have a hand that doesn't look like it's suffering through tetanus. Now, knowing how fingers curl up, we can actually use this knowledge and go back to the first hand we drew. But to draw curled fingers in this angle, you would need a little bit of knowledge on foreshortening. But fortunately for you, not too much. Just keep in mind that when fingers do curl, they lose a bit of their overall length, and the wrinkles that represent each joint start to form a U shape. For a more accurate result, just look at your own hand, and then use that as reference. Okay, onto the closed fist. Draw a square and a side triangle. Then draw a tilting rectangle. This will be the guidelines for the fingers. Then draw another rectangle overlapping the previous one, then connect it back to the side triangle. This will be the thumb. Now that you have a rough sketch of the closed hand, time to add in the details. Draw the thumb, then draw the fingers. In this angle, you will only see the middle phalanx and a little bit of the fingertips. Ideally, these fingers should be drawn within the tilted rectangle. And then add in your details. Alright, we're gonna be drawing the closed fist on the side now. Draw the rectangle, and then the side triangle. Then draw another rectangle, this is where the fingers will be. Then draw the thumb. Remember how the fingers curl up. The proximal phalange will protrude to where the fist is facing. The middle phalange will go downward, and the fingertips will go back to facing the palm. You should have an X or Y pattern in the middle. This is because when the fingers curl up, the folds end up creating that pattern. Alright, this video... this part of the video is not scripted at all. If you guys are somehow able to follow along with what I'm saying without watching the footage, I salute you. Because I'm gonna be real with you, I don't know if I'm explaining any of this right. Draw in your details and you'll be done. Alright, now on the opposite side of the closed fist. It's basically the same process, except the fingers will overlap each other. Oh, right, we are almost done with this video. Let me just teach you guys one more thing before I can go back to playing Wuthering Waves. Now that I've shown you guys how to draw hands in fairly simple forms and perspectives, we're now going to be bringing these concepts into 3D, so that way you will have a general idea of form of the hands. Are you ready? You ready for this? No? Too bad. The palm is just a box. The side triangle is just a cut-off box. And the fingers are nothing more than floppy french fries. Yep, that's about it. Yeah, despite the fact that I hyped up this part of the video as the complex part, it's really not that hard to explain. You're essentially just taking everything we learned and giving it form and depth. As long as you have some knowledge around perspective, you'll be just fine. However, if you don't, I do have a video on perspective, so go ahead and give that a watch. Other than that, use the shapes I provided and taught to break down pictures of your own hands, or hands from Pinterest or any other reference websites. I honestly do not care. Practice these until you are starting to feel the gist of it. Eventually, you'll go from drawing simple turkey hands to actually drawing hands like a pro. Hey guys, I know it's been a while since I made a video. Sorry if I wasn't as enthusiastic compared to my other videos. I wanted to try something different and talk at a normal pace that I normally talk at. But if you didn't really vibe with the low energy that I had throughout the video, I understand that, and please let me know in the comments and I'll try to be a little bit more enthusiastic in the future. To be honest, I was actually done with this video back in September of this year. The only reason why it took me this long to upload it was 1, I was scared you guys wouldn't like it, and 2, depression. But those are all excuses. I'll try my best to upload more consistently from now on. Keyword, my best. Who knows how long I can keep that promise up. Oh, by the way, you might have noticed that I've changed my name. I've already made this change on my Twitter, as well as I made a community post about it. Starting somewhere in November, I will no longer go by the name Mystic Kitsune. Instead, I'll now be operating under the name Mystic Keiji. Yeah, hopefully that's not much of a big change for you guys. Don't worry, I'll still call myself Mystic. As to why I'm changing my name, I kind of fell out of love for the Kitsune part of my name. Additionally, I found out that my name conflicted with searchability, because apparently I share my name with a Magic of the Gathering card. No hate to Magic of the Gathering, I just don't want to get in the way of their search results in case actual fans of that game want to look for the card instead of me. Also, please do not harass this game company for simply having a card that has the same name as me. It was a complete coincidence, and any harassment towards them will not be tolerated. Please don't be stupid and just let it be. I'll make a dedicated video to my name change, so don't worry. So yeah, I hope you continue to support me despite the name change. Again, if you like this video, please leave a comment, a like, and subscribe. It's free and it helps my channel a lot. If you have some art tips to share, leave it in the comments as well, so we can all get better at art. Also, if you like my art in general, please consider following me on my other platforms. I'm mostly active on Twitter, I refuse to call it X, but considering how much of a hellhole that's becoming with the new TOS, I've started a Blue Sky account, and I want to get as much followers before the end of the year. You can find my stuff in the description or in my bio. Alright, that's enough out of this video. Until next time, friends, study hard, stay creative, be bold, and don't you dare go hollow.